Hey guys, I had to welcome back to the Pure Goddess channel. My name is Gwenly. I had to do some deleting in my phone because storage was like filling up real quick. I barely watch any shows on my phone, but I have all the apps that I'm subscribed to, so that's just silly, you know. It takes a lot of space, a lot of storage space in the phone. So I did some deleting, and hopefully the video isn't cut off, but I also don't want to be on for too long recording because nobody wants to watch long videos anyways. But yeah, you know, this season I've been super just like relaxed and like resting a lot. You know, it goes in waves where I get super like motivated. Like I used to be very motivated to just be an inspiration to people and be a motivator, you know, like hype people up. You know, I'm very good at that. And just being there for people all the time and like being a helping hand all the time. My soul's exhausted and it's tired. And I just don't have it in me anymore to like do it for anyone else. Like I'm done. You know, I have myself to give to now. You know, it's like all my life I've done that for others and been there for others, and no one's ever been there for me. No one's ever like understood me. You know, the path of us chosen ones is super lonely and different, and people aren't gonna understand you or the path at all. They're gonna think we're crazy and delusional if we even speak for a few minutes, if we even open our mouths, because we're so like hated on and like envied, and people don't want to hear us. Our energy is just like, people just automatically, we don't even open our mouth when people are so like intimidated, and you know, they put like a block in front of themselves, like, because we read people to a filth. We are like, our energy carries a lot of power, and people are fucking afraid of that. And you know, it's things I've always felt. I've always felt these things, but my confidence for a lot of my life was so like down and low because of all the attacks, because of all the people in my life who, you know, especially family. If family don't hype you up, if family is not there for you, if family is not like a helping hand to you, if all they do is the opposite, you're gonna have low confidence. You're not gonna feel good about yourself. You're not gonna feel like worthy or like deserving. And that was my family my whole life, you know. Like I'm just someone who's like on the side, you know. And because I intimidate, I scare people with my energy, with what I know, you know. Because I didn't get this from my parents, you know. And my parents, you know, my dad works hard not to be, but he has his toxic ways and his ignorant ways. And you know, people like to, and they decide and choose to stay stuck, you know. And in certain areas of their life, that they need to heal from in order to pass it on to the next generation, and not be that other homework, other job for the next generation to carry, right? A lot of heaviness in my family's, in my parents' generations, a lot of heaviness that I carried for a very long time. And I've let a lot of it go, but I've worked so hard to break a lot of these, and it's not easy, and it's gonna be a lifetime of working hard to keep it that way, right? And it gets easier in the sense because we rise, we level up, we elevate by healing, by, you know, we are like blessed more by God, by source, for being obedient and not giving up, and really going through the storm and not stopping. I mean, I've had a storm my whole life. My whole life has always been a storm. Yes, I've had ups and downs and goods, and you know, when I was more low vibrational, of course, my life was like, I still had generational things that I was like dealing with, you know, and like I couldn't elevate in that area of life because it's a generational thing that are, you know, we deal with. But when the devil, when you're in a certain vibration, the devil doesn't fuck with you because he already has you. But when you're trying to get out of all that shit, and you want to do better and be better, and you know, you want to heal, and you know, you accept the calling, it's just different stages, right? I've always had spiritual warfare. When you accept the calling, the spiritual warfare, when you accept God, the spiritual warfare, it goes to like 1,000. Every way you look, every position you face in life, you will be attacked like crazy. And our own family members, our spouses, our children, like they don't know these things, you know. It's very hard to express and explain what we're going through within, because we see in the spirit and they may not. So how can you explain things like this to people who are not, you know, who are not blessed in these ways by God to be able to see in the spirit, unless they call a psychic, or they call someone who has, you know, they could tap in and they actually get answers, you know. And a lot of these people, you know, aren't real, or they're real, or they're not going to tell you the whole truth. Or what happens most times is source, God, you're protective, the spirit guides, people who are protecting you, but God, of course, source is not gonna allow them to be able to see the truth. They're not gonna allow it, so they're gonna be deceived, you know, because we need to be protected. And a lot of the times people will do these, I was one of them, you know, call psychics all the time, not for specific things, but just generally speaking, because it's just like, just say, like, if you get tarot card readings, you know, and I sometimes watch them, but I tend to go towards ones that are in higher frequency, obviously, because I want to hear the truth, but I want to know, like, the real deal, you know. Like, I don't want you to bullshit around, you know, like, you know, beat around the bush, or how you say it, like, just to go around in circles. Okay, like positive, but still going around in circles. Like, I need, like, tell me, you know, like, don't bullshit around. Like, there's so many people that you just waste your time and money with that. It's like, okay, I just need someone to confirm it for me, because I already know what it is, you know. And that happened because I wasn't I didn't have that confidence. Like, I didn't believe in my gifts, you know. And I knew, but I still doubted myself because of all the upbringing, like how my upbringing was, how I was told and made to believe, and how my own family made me feel like, you are not this, you are not that, you're nothing, you know. And a lot of it, I've forgiven my parents, you know, and I'm still going through that process because I feel like I'm in a reflection type of mode. Like, at this time I'm like reflecting, but at the same time I'm still forgiving, you know. Like, I'm going through it, you know. Like, it's just the residual, like the end bits of like fully letting go of forgiving, you know. And I am able to talk about it. I am able to express, not in detail. I mean, I don't need to do it in detail, but just express. I was very hurt in this time because a lot of my life I was like shut down. Like, even speaking, my parents were, my mom especially, was so against me even talking. Excuse me. Because of, like, she was very karmic. She's very karmic. Lived a false life, right? Like, how people in society, normal. This is normal to society, right? To the matrix of, like, believing all this bullcrap about yourself and, like, living this lie, and, like, we're, like, not making ends meet, but we have, like, the newest clothes on, or, like, the newest trends, like, you know, and always, like, gossiping and, like, having, like, friends and parties and whatever, you know, for just to be accepted and liked, you know. And that's just normal for society, you know. And I never, you know, of course sometimes I tried just to fit in, and it's just not me, you know. And I was, like, not liked in my family for that reason. Like, I'm not gonna be a follower. It's not me, you know. I'm not gonna, like, lie. Like, I know the truth, and that's why, like, a lot of the times people didn't like me to speak. Like, you know, people like to live in their delusional bubbles, and expect or wish or pray that they're gonna go to heaven, or because they believe, but they don't fully believe, you know. It's like, you're not working on yourself, you know. It's very confusing, you know, a lot of the time. It's like, you know, doing all this healing and, like, unlearning of how you were raised, what was embedded in you, in your head, for you to believe that of yourself. It's not easy to unlearn these things, because a lot of it is just like autopilot. We just automatically think this of us. We automatically do this because we were taught, and it's just so embedded in us, because it's been like it's been our whole lives, right? Since we were very young, we were taught, and, like, if it's culturally or, you know, just everything, and it's hard to catch it. So it's so important to learn to reflect. I've reflected my whole life, like, and I still I do a little bit less because it's just I'm like a master at it. Like I automatically reflect. I had this meet up with someone. I had this you know, whatever with somebody or a place or environment or people, reflect on it, you know. Always reflect on everything you do in your life. Always. It's a really good habit. And you know, so reflection is really important. But yeah, and I've been so emotional these past few days, very emotional. And it wasn't around the time of the full moon, because the full moon makes me like super emotional. But this full moon, it wasn't emotional. It was just normal. A lot of people felt the full moon. A lot of people are feeling like the energetic, like frequency, energetic shifts that are happening. I don't go too much into detail about that because I'm not familiar with it, so I'm not gonna like just speak out of my ass to say, because I feel it, so I know it's real, but I don't know the terms, the details, the words, the labels. Like I'm not too familiar with that. I am just starting to learn it. And just the frequencies, there's, I don't know if it's a machine or something that one of the tarot readers I follow, she is like a high priestess. She's a light being, you know, and she works with spirit a lot. And she does, I don't know, I haven't Googled it, I haven't researched it, but Schumann's or something. And it, you know, she takes screenshots of like the frequency, the light or whatever, and the timeline jumps or something like that, and she posts it on the community post on her page, right, on YouTube. And she shows us these things, you know. It's like all light is like skyrocketing here and there, like angelic light and all this stuff. And you know, I'm learning, you know, so I'm like taking it in, I'm feeling it, if this resonates with me or not, if I feel it or I don't, you know. Like I am not like false, I'm not fake, you know. I'm not gonna say I am this, I am that, when I'm not, you know. Or I haven't studied it yet. And I'm very truthful, I'm very real. And it's just not in me to lie to you guys. And yeah, so I also had this experience. I don't know if I mentioned it to you guys in video, if I recorded, but I was on Facebook a few months ago, I would say like 2 months ago, and I follow this guy who lives in Spain, right, overseas. And I don't know, I think we became friends because I have no idea who this person is. He's just I found him on Facebook, right? I don't know how, you know, we follow so many pages and whatever, so he had some things that I liked. He posted a lot of spiritual stuff every single day, and like Ascended Masters, and like I'm like, what is that, you know? This was like months ago, probably a year and some ago, but I'm like, what is that? And like, you know, I'm learning. And I added him as a friend and we became friends. And like, you know, I don't think he knows English, but you know, he's an older guy and everything. But I enjoyed his posts, and like, you know, I would learn from like what he posted, and like maybe other things he shares from like other pages or other friends he has. And so I would become friends, or I would follow that page because it was very spiritual and like it would teach you a lot, right? And so there was like a blackout or whatever, grid blackout in that area a few months ago, like 3 months or 2 months ago, not too long ago. But you know, it was for like, I don't know, a few hours, more than 24 hours, I think, or 48 hours. But I found out through him, right? Because he posted. And so, you know, I'm like, oh my God, like, I know the ending is coming. Like, you know, like, the new earth is coming, and like, etc. You know, like, a big change, big shift, you know, energetic shift, higher frequency, like 5D and 3D is like no more. And like, you know, so many changes that like a regular person cannot handle, you know, unless they're working on themselves on daily within. Other than that, I don't know. You know, if people want to say stuck and unhealed and in their ways, and like with like, you know, being false and living a false life, and being like, you know, like a narcissist, and like just blaming others and not doing the fucking work, you know, living in a shadow in their shadow, not wanting to face their shadows and all that. Then I feel so sorry for you, because I don't feel sorry for you, but too bad for you, because the universe is gonna push you. Source is gonna push you that like you have no choice. You need to do the work, because you've been not doing the work, not wanting to, not bettering yourself, wanting to stay in like that filth of energy and low vibrational for like ever, and doing a lot of bad, because people like this, they hurt people. You know, they don't have good intentions. They're not always bad people, but they're hurt people, and that's dangerous too. Excuse me. That's dangerous, you know. So yeah. So yeah, this guy, and I was, you know, I unfriended him because I started noticing after this happened. Let me tell you guys, I started noticing that there's a lot of like, oh, I'm a spiritual worker, I'm this and that, I'm a shaman, I'm whatever, you know, like I do readings, and like, you know, because they take classes, they take courses, they go to retreats, and you know, they get certified, and that's totally fine. But if it's not authentically in you, like within you, you know, like I can't fucking, I'm just too real, like, you know. And I've come a long way from like working on my confidence, and you know, it's getting better every day. But like, because I'm certified, you know, it doesn't mean I'm gonna like go for it, and like this is me, and like this is the only type of like the highest frequency you could get. Like, I'm very powerful light worker, but I'm not like showing off to people like this is who I am, blah blah blah. Like, you don't need to like fucking talk, you know. People that talk too much, they ain't shit. And you know, so this blackout whatever was happened, and he posted something, this Facebook friend, and you know, a post, you know, to say some stuff, and I'm like, oh my God, you know, like, you know, of course you're gonna think like, I hope you're well, and this, or you know, I'll be praying for you, you know. You just say it to, I you know, I'm just that person. I would say it to anybody, because everybody needs a prayer, you know. Like, if you're going through, that's a little frightening to me, you know. And you know, I'm just like, oh, I wish you good, you know, like that you're okay and everything resolves, or I don't know what I said, But this female commented back, or she commented before me, I don't know, saying, I don't remember. She lives here in the States, and she's probably like native, I think, American native. And you know, I don't care, like, okay, like, other people are gonna comment, and I commented on her comment, you know, or she commented on the post, and then the Facebook friend commented on her post, on her comment, and then I commented under him. So, you know, it wasn't a comment to the post, it was a comment to the comment that he left for the girl on whatever she commented. But he said some details about whatever else he posted, right? And I commented under the post, and she for sure felt some type of way, like, who the F are you to comment? Like, it's just bullshit, you know, like, who gives a shit? But I didn't realize that. And she commented, the guy just liked it, and I'm like, okay, well, you're acting petty. You know, like, I have no idea who he is, but I wish him well, like, positive vibes, and, you know, this and that. And then the girl commented and said something petty, like it's okay, like, it's okay, like, you don't have to be in, like, this, like, anxious mode, or like scared mode, or whatever, like, energy. I'm like, dude, the fuck, you know? You know, everyone has their own way of speaking. And no, that's not what I meant. I'm just like, I wish you well for your well-being, you know? Every culture is different, and however people speak may sound like, oh my God, to one person, but it may sound like whatever, how it sounds, I don't know. But I'm like, dude. And then I'm like, who is this girl? The guy never commented anything. I'm like, okay, you're not even, I still wish you well, but you're not worth, like, my time to waste for me to look at whatever you post, because you didn't even, you could care less about what I said, or you didn't really care for it. You know, and I'm not gonna waste my energy on whatever, whoever. So I went on her Facebook page, I'm like, who is this female? I go on her page, and, you know, it's all, like, spiritualists, 100%, all on her page, you know, her profile. Shaman, and this, and this, and I'm on this, and, you know, like, you know, the look of a spiritualist profile page. And I'm like, okay, well, she thinks she's all that, and obviously she has some work to do. She has some anger issues. She still, I mean, every spiritualist or teacher or practitioner has work to do. There's always healing to do. But some people live very egotistical or prideful, and, like, they think like they're the shit. They're the master. There's no one else. Everyone has different ways of teaching and doing things, and their own ways, right? Everyone's different. And just because I don't have it laid in my profile that I'm this and that, and I know this and that, and, like, you know, it's just people's presence that tells you who they are. I don't need to open my mouth. That makes me more cheap. Like, when I, you know, like, when you talk too much, it makes you cheap. Doesn't matter what you have on or what you drive. But yeah, I'm like, okay, well, she's whatever, you know, she could think whatever she wants of herself, and whatever, you know, like, I'm gonna remove myself energetically and everything. And I blocked the girl because I know I just know what's gonna happen next. And when she commented something petty on that post, like commenting back to my post, right, and to my comment, and I'm like, okay, like this, like I didn't say nothing else, because I already read your energy when you're commenting. So you're acting very petty, and there's no reason to. Like, you don't own this person. You know, you don't own, no one owns anyone. So for her to be like, oh, I've been Facebook friends with this person longer, or you don't have the right to comment on, you know, whatever. But yeah, and I removed this guy friend off Facebook as well. And I'm just like, okay, well, you know, like, people talk too much, you know, I'm this, I'm that, and people are stupid because they're followers too, and they believe, and they're really not. That's why I say, like, there's, you know, and the real spiritualists, the real people who have these blessings, these gifts, who do the work and put in the work every single day. And, you know, like, you don't need to be flashy about what you do or whatever, you know. We're guided to do things, we're called. So, you know, like, on a level of, like, it being my career, possibly one day, you know, I'm gonna be guided to use my gifts in a certain way to create something for myself to bring income, but I'm not gonna force it. You know, but I know that's, you know, in my near future, but I'm not gonna force it, you know, because, you know, control and being a perfectionist, that's where things don't work out. It's like, you try to control, well, things are not gonna work out for you, because we gotta go with the flow. You know, we are not in charge. We are not. And people don't get that. It's like, it's not even about I'm this, I'm that, and I do this type of work. It's like, you're not respecting source, you're not respecting the universe. Like, you know, you have to do things like how it's supposed to be done. If not, we can't take matters into our own hands in this way. And there will always be mistakes from people who are, like, who are healers, who do this for work, who are practitioners, who are seers, like, who do this for work, right? Who are mediums. There's always gonna be a mistake here or there, because we're all human, and we're not perfect. So we may say something that doesn't resonate, doesn't truly go with who you're reading or saying it to, because it has to do with you. You have to heal some, you know, like, if you have, everyone has healing to do. So sometimes when we say certain things, it's more for us and not for the person you're working with. So always, like I tell you guys, like, reflect on everything, you know, reflect on everything, especially when you deal with people, especially, you know, like, important things. But and always, does this resonate with me? Always, like, reflect, like, what I was told, what I read, what I saw, what I felt, what I saw, what I envisioned, what vision I had, what message I got from spirit, from the universe, from my spirit guides, from this person, that person, this reader, this seer, this psychic. Within, does this resonate with me or not? You know, if it does, if it didn't, if it doesn't, then just let it go and let it be. You don't have to, like, okay, well, let's work around that and see where that's gonna, like, no, it doesn't resonate with you, it's not gonna resonate with you. Like, it doesn't belong to you. yeah, so we just have to stay truthful to ourselves and work on our heart chakras. A lot of people don't work on their heart chakras. A lot of people emotionally, they need to work on their emotional side. And a healthy man, a healthy woman is gonna be an emotional being, and that's okay. You know, in order to be like strong, like intuitive, you have to be emotional. Like, you have to have a balance. If you're too much on like the materialistic, like the 3D stuff, like, and like decision and perfectionism, and like, I need to do this and this in order to whatever, in order to whatever, you know, like, that's not gonna work, because you're still controlling things. You're still trying to be a perfectionist, which is, it's good sometimes, but when it has, like, we don't have the control of our lives, you know. We are made to believe that we do, but we don't. God is always in control of our lives, and we need to let him. We need to learn. We need to reflect. We need to become aware, stop ourselves and become aware. Okay, I'm doing this right now. I need to stop. Just quiet down and relax and reflect. Why did I do this? Why am I not letting it be? Letting it, like, the wave go? Why am I not why am I trying to control or for it to be perfect? Like, the most beautiful thing is not perfect. You know? So why do you need to control? Why does everything need to be perfect? Life is not even close to perfect. But it's the most beautiful thing, because it has its ups and downs. It's sad days, it's happy days, it's rainy days, sunny days, snowy days, lightning days, you know, like, it's hot, it's cold, you know, like, life is perfect, and this is what perfectionism is to me. You know, it's like going with the flow. Like, it's not the end of the world, you know, and it's time for a lot of people to, like, let go, man. It's time for a lot of people to, like, see life in a different way, because if not, you're gonna have a really rude awakening. Doesn't matter if obviously you've been healing or, you know, working within yourself. That's always, for me, it was very hard. And, you know, it has to do with ego and pride as well, right? That's a big part of it. I'm telling you guys, there's always work to do, always. And that's okay, you know? Everyone is on their own individual journey. So everyone knows within where everyone knows within where their you know, like, you're going through it, you're struggling, you know, you need to heal. And you're trying to put in the work, and, like, when is it gonna end? Because healing is hard, and you really gotta face your shadows in the darkness, and you really, you have to relive what you went through, and, like, you know, you have to face it. And when is it gonna be over? Because sometimes we have a lot of baggage, a lot of trauma, a lot that we need to heal within. And it's tiring. Everything's tiring. Spiritually, everything's tiring. But, you know, I'm learning how to, when I'm tired, I'm learning how to just shush, and that's it. That's all I have to say. I'm not gonna push myself. Because then I get overstimulated, or like I fry my brain. I become super duper exhausted because I am stubborn, and I want to say what I'm not done saying. And sometimes we have to be obedient and listen, um when, okay, that's, like, it's enough. We don't need to like explain and like say everything in our head, in our, just little things I'm working on. Thankfully, my anxiety level is like nothing. I don't have no anxiety anymore. I struggle with anxiety my whole life. And the people who have caused anxiety, which a lot has to do with like, I've taken those people out of my life who have, who make me feel like a stressful anxiety. Like I get, like my body gets inflamed. Like I deal with eczema, so like my eczema gets super like inflamed, like, yeah. And sometimes you have to push people, the people that make you, like, trigger you, right, to give you anxiety. You have to push those people away in order for you to start healing. If not, you can't have a balance. You can't start healing at all. And it's really easy for me to, right, to feel others' anxieties. Like, as soon as someone's getting anxious by what I'm saying, okay, I need to like relax, because my mind, it works too fast. It goes too fast, a lot of people are blocked in a lot of, especially emotionally, right? A lot of people in this world, they live like robots. And as long as they look good on the outside, and they're perceived in a certain way, right, by society's acceptance or expectations, they're just there like zombies, like fucking robots, like they don't deal with their inner self. They don't deal with anything else. And a lot of people are just like, they don't deal with it, and so when talking to people, it's so important to catch yourself, because your energy is already so like powerful and so strong. Like, it's a big presence, right? It's a heavy presence. People are not used to so much light and positivity and like love and welcoming, and acceptance. So it fucking shocks people, and it triggers them so bad. And you gotta like, I get really, really like fast, everything fast. I want to speak. I want to take out all the information I have within, to let that person, to transmit it to that person. I'm working in different ways. I'm speaking. I'm sensing. I'm giving you the energy, the healing that you need for yourself, that I can see, that you can't see, that you're blocked, that whatever it is, right? And people get overstimulated, and they can't like, they just freeze, or they don't know what's going on. They're just all like confused, and like, it's something like, I see it in them. They're just like, if their eyes could speak, they would be like going like this. Like, I don't know what's going on, but they can't even express that, but I see it too often. And I need, in order for me to work with people, I need to like you know, start seeing things like this. I isolate myself a lot, because I need a lot of alone time, you know, and I'm happy in my own world, in my own, you know, in my home. I'm my own bubble. I'm just happy. But what's it called? um you know, so I just, when people start getting anxious, I just, you know, I just try to catch myself and just, okay, this person can't handle so much, you know. It depends what aspect of life you're talking about, and or what, like, you know, if you compare, like, they have blockages in this area or that area of their life, then they're not gonna be so open, or like so accepting to what you're saying. So, you know, it's just important. Like, I'm working on that right now, because if you're just throwing things out there and they're like not wanting to take it or receive it, like welcome it, accept it, they're closing themselves because they have so much anxiety, and they're like afraid, right? They're literally afraid. You're overloading them. You're just wasting your energy and your time as well, because they're not absorbing all what you're saying. Because us light beings, us light workers, also our voice is like healing, you know, very energetically healing, in every sense possible. In our literally listening to our voice, in our pauses, in our what is it, like, you know, like the rhythm of our voice is very, very healing. It's just naturally. And it's very hard for me to get angry and express it as anger compared to like most people. I have so much anger and frustration, and like I just want to take that out, but like when I do, it comes out normal. Like, there's no, like, literally, you're not, it's very rare that you're gonna realize that or notice that I'm angry, because it just comes out normal sometimes, most of the time. So it's just, it's weird. But when I get angry, I start like talking in Spanish most times. I start like yelling, or I just get angry and start talking in Spanish, and like, you know, that's just who I am. But yeah, okay, hopefully this video uploads. Talk to you guys later. I have to go. Bye.